Hey guys, welcome to Outfitting Unity. I'm Matt Frisbee, I'm your host, and today we are at Silicon Slopes Tech Summit. It's really fun to be here. There's businesses of every kind from Utah and other states. But we're here, we've got a booth, and we're also out doing interviews for our podcast. We're so grateful to have you on the show. So today, we're gonna walk around the arena right here and interview other business owners and other entrepreneurs. So why don't you come with me, and we're gonna begin interviewing. Let's go. I'm here with Jake Hiller, who is the Chief Revenue Officer of Nexus IT. So thanks for having us. Jake, tell everybody what you do.
So I manage and run the revenue team. So I work with my guys to find the right solutions for our customers, have a lot of fun doing it, and reach out in the community, see how we can help and network and really elevate IT. That's one of our slogans, is how do we elevate IT for everyone here.
Awesome. So I know your CEO, he's quite the musician. Does he play for you guys?
He does.
Oh, really?
And he's actually good. Any concert I've been to with him, there's a lot of times where it's like, oh, it's the CEO, I got to act like they're good. They're actually good. A lot of fun to go to.
So Earl apparently pretty good. All right, good. So we're out here. The purpose of our podcast is to talk to organizations, how they connect and unite their people, their community. So it could be your customers or even just your internal team. So tell us about what you guys do at Nexus IT.
So we have a lot of different programs that we run to connect. Obviously, there's, we have our all hands meetings. We have a lot of different. We're nerds, so
I won't hold that against you. I'll just judge you privately. Yeah.
Yeah. Make fun of us later.
Good.
So we have different games we play at night and those sort of things. But we are really big into the community. So one of the things, especially Earl, it's been one of his big driving forces, is how can we benefit others, and especially people who are struggling to get in the IT field. So we work a lot with like SheTech and other IT adjacent companies that are trying to get people into the field and give them the right exposure. And we love being a part of that, because all of us need mentors to get where we're going.
Yeah.
And if you don't have a mentor, you have mentors, you might not have identified them. And so how can we facilitate that, do a better job with that, and bring people to understand more, to get new exposure? Or like one of the things that I'm very passionate about, a lot of people want to get into IT, but when they start doing it, they either will love it or hate it. And so how can we introduce people so they don't waste 4 years, get a degree, and it's like, oh, I'll never do that. Why? That was a waste.
Like, let's give you the bad news up front. You're like, oh, thanks.
Yes.
I'm out.
Exactly. And so how can we help people do that, give them that experience, and have fun doing it?
That's cool. Well, you guys look like you have a lot of fun. Tell us about your outfit today.
Yeah, so obviously our colors are orange, and I have a full Dumb and Dumber outfit, and I was wearing this for Halloween, and they're like, hey, might as well use this for the summit, and then we all.
So two birds, one stone.
Exactly.
Oh, okay. All right. Tell us about the shoes.
And our whole team, we got shoes together to kind of stand out.
Awesome.
See the Nexus Orange, come talk to us.
Cool. Awesome. Jake, thank you so much for spending time with us today. We look forward to seeing the rest of the show.
All right. Thank you.
Cool. Take care.
We'll see you.
Thanks. All right, guys. Hey, here we are at Silicon Slopes Tech Summit. I'm with Corey Schmidt from Workday.
Yeah.
He's one of the sales leaders there, and we're excited to interview with him today. Corey, thanks for being on our podcast. We're grateful that you're here. So tell us a little bit about Workday and what you do there.
Yeah, Workday is enterprise cloud, so ERP and HCM technology, and I lead a sales team in the Mountain region for medium enterprise customers, which is our largest growing segment at Workday.
That's awesome. So tell us a little bit about what Workday does. Like, what kind of problems do you guys solve, and what are some things you guys see for your customers?
We provide visibility into your data through enterprise, human capital management, and financial management solutions.
Awesome. So as a sales leader, I imagine you spend a lot of time talking and exciting your team. So tell us about how you drive connection with your sales team.
I think it's a couple things. I think it's one, understanding who they are and what they want out of life, not just their job, but like where they want to go, where they want to be in the next 5 years. Connecting on a personal level, things like that.
Awesome. We agree with that, spending time and listening to people. So what's been something that maybe surprised you learned about a team member that you're like, wow, we really do have a lot in common?
So I think, the fact that we're all raising kids, during this crazy time. Music is one that I think we really connect with different workmates on, like different genres that people like and concerts that you're going to see and doing things like that.
That's cool. I remember my son came home from school one day and he's like, Daddy, you've ever heard of 311? And I was like, yes, but I have. That's cool. So tell us about your team at Workday. Like, what's your culture like?
We have a very great culture. It's one of the reasons that I came to Workday, and it's one of the reasons I stay at Workday. It's all about our founding principles, our employees and customers. And when you have happy employees, you have happy customers.
That's awesome. Where do you guys see like your employees and your customers intersect? You've talked about the great culture here. I imagine your customers feel it too.
Yeah, absolutely. The Workday community is full of people that share and evangelize the value of Workday. And so I think the idea of our employees being very transparent and having a lot of integrity and making sure that our customers are successful is just across the community.
That's awesome. So I would love to hear, what was the favorite concert that you went to as a young man?
My favorite concert as a young man. Thomas Mack Center, 1998, on Halloween, Fish.
Okay. All right. We just learned a lot about you. That's awesome, man. Thank you so much for spending time with us today. I hope you enjoy the show, and we look forward to seeing you guys around. Thanks, everybody. Hey guys, Matt Frisbee. I'm here at Silicon Slope Summit with Sam Sworski. We know each other through LinkedIn, and it's super fun to run into him. So Sam, so good to see you.
Yeah, thanks.
Awesome. So what are you doing here at the summit?
It's kind of a couple of things. I have a ton of friends who live in the area. I used to live in Utah for a couple of years, and a lot of them are nerdy little LinkedIn creators like me, so I wanted to hang out with them. And then part of it is I want to find potential clients or just really cool collaborations that I can do with people.
Awesome. So you're here networking.
That's right, networking. Absolutely.
Awesome. Well, we're grateful to be here. So one of the things that we talk about on our podcast is how we connect and unite. And I see you a lot on LinkedIn and we get involved in conversations. So tell me about the things that you do to connect and unite with your community.
I used to do a lot more in-person meetups when I was here in Utah. I would organize people to come actually together and meet up. Lately, just a few weeks ago, I started a once-a-week thing where we meet up on Zoom and everyone kind of gets to talk about what they do and introduce each other. And I started that because I used to be really well known for networking, and I started looking over the past year or so. I'm like, nobody knows me for that anymore, and that's a really valuable skill that I don't want to lose, and I don't want to lose that reputation. So that's kind of what I've been working on lately.
That's awesome. What are some of the topics you guys discuss on your networking?
Since we just started, a lot of it is how to do kind of just a really short intro. We're doing it 60 seconds, 30 seconds, so people can get that out. And it's nerve-wracking. Some people go way long. Some people just take up 20 seconds. So it's hard to get it just right, where you can introduce yourself, give enough value right away. And we'll move on to other topics. But even for me right now, it's that's an important thing to kind of be covering. It's nice when you can say, oh, I'm teaching you guys this, and really I'm trying to learn it myself, and I'm just using you as my bouncing board.
That's awesome. One of the things I love are icebreakers or something nobody knew about you. So what was something, if I were to ask you, what was something to be surprised to learn about you?
I lived in India for almost 6 months once. Okay. Yeah, that was cool. I was planning on becoming a missionary for a while, and that was pretty neat. I've lived in a ton of states. I've traveled a lot, so traveling, living in India. So yeah. You probably wouldn't know this about me, but I danced for Disney for several years. Oh, really?
Yeah, see.
That's amazing.
I went from football to dancing. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's cool. What are you hoping to gain from the summit?
I have a lot of friends here who are creators, or this is my third summit, I think, and so I've just met a lot of people, and so if I can get some business from it, that's great, but honestly, I'm just looking forward to hanging out with a lot of friends, making some new friends, and I'm not putting too much pressure on it, honestly.
That's awesome. Well, it's fun. We knew each other on LinkedIn. Now we're face-to-face, and so it works, right?
That's right.
That's awesome. Well, thanks so much for spending time with us today. Good to see you.
Yes, sir.
Enjoy the show.
Thanks.
Hey guys, here we are at Silicon Slopes, and I am with Kevin Richards at 401 Go. And I'm going to have Kevin introduce himself and a little bit about what you do. So tell us about 4 and Go and a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, Kevin Richards. I'm a plan consultant here. So I help business owners set up a retirement plan for themselves and their employees.
Awesome. How long have you guys been doing this? How long have you been in business?
Since 2017, we have plans with 1 employee. We have plans with thousands of employees. And our sweet spot has been the small to medium business space.
So cool conversation, like I want to retire, I want to go to the islands, I want to do things, but tough conversation when you're not retired, right? So how do you guys do it?
So we are tech focused. So if I wanted to change the investments I have, or I wanted to change how much is coming out of my next paycheck, I could do that from our app on our phone. We have a mobile platform that's very easy and intuitive, and I can change my investments. We have financial wellness tools built in. We take care of all the moving parts of the 401k plan for the business.
That's cool. Awesome. Congrats on your business.
Thank you.
So in our show, one of the things we talk about is connection and how we drive connections as leaders in companies and in our community. So what is it you do either to your customers or to your internal employees that drives authentic connection?
Ooh, authentic connection. It is giving the best experience to our clients. Because more than anything, I hear from people I've never met before, and they say, I talked to Sarah, and Sarah told me about this. Or a home builder in Chubbuck, Idaho. He went to his dentist and said, oh yeah, I don't know about retirement. Oh, we have this 401 Go. And it's those connections with giving the highest level of service where that's how we're able to show off, but also get good connections and be proud of where you work as well.
Where the heck is Chubbuck, Idaho?
The greater Pocatello Metroplex.
The greater Pocatello. Yeah, that sounds very metropolis.
Right.
That's cool. So how long, so you said 2017.
That's right.
How long have you been doing this?
So I've been here for 2 years, and I've worked with tech startups in the Valley. I've worked with HVAC and blue-collar companies in the Midwest, professional soccer teams, and clinics of brain surgeons. It's all across the board of anyone that has employees and needs a retirement plan.
That's awesome. If you could leave one thing with us, like something that's important to you about your business, like, gosh, I would really hope people would think about this. Retirement's a big part of our life and something that like typically comes later, and so if I'm thinking about it now, what's one big thought you would leave with us?
Best time to plant a tree is 30 years ago. And I think especially for the younger generation, if they think, well, I can't take a hit of 2 or 3% of my paycheck, if you do that now, the difference that makes in a few years may be $500,000.
That's a lot of money. That's awesome. Well, thank you for your advice. It's really nice to meet you. Has the summit been going good for you?
It's great. It just got here. It's great so far.
Yeah. Awesome. It's great. Well, thanks for spending time with us. It was a pleasure to meet you.
Thanks, Matt.
Okay, take care. Thanks, guys. All right, guys. Hey, welcome. We found some more people to interview. We're here at Silicon Slope Summit. So Kaylee and Brock, super good to be with you guys. So you guys are kind of a big deal at the summit. Will you guys tell us your name and what you do at Job Nimbus?
Yeah, for sure. So we're at Job Nimbus. My name is Kaylee. I'm the VP of Marketing. And I'll let Brock introduce
Yeah, I'm Brock. I'm the Director of Marketing for organic and content channels.
Awesome. Well, will you guys tell us a little bit about what Job Nimbus does? And I'll just hand you the microphone.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, we're a project management CRM software for roofers. It's super niche, but it's such a fun space. We really love it. We just had the largest Series B fund in the state of Utah.
Congratulations, that's so fun.
Yeah, we're super excited. $330 million. It's super incredible. We freaking love it. We're basically trying to.
Everyone, are still glowing.
Oh yeah, no, I'm like pumped. But yeah, like it's really cool because everyone has a bad contractor story, and we really want to make sure everyone has a good one. And we have the best customers ever, and we love our space. It's really amazing.
What do you do? Why don't you tell me more about like specifically the job of the VP of Marketing?
So we do all the marketing stuff. So we do the digital marketing mainly, and then I'm obsessed with AI. You and I got into a heated discussion about that at a panel. Obsessed with AI and behavioral science. So thankfully, most of my job is just getting obstacles out of my team's way, and we want to change marketing in general in the space. And I mess a lot with behavioral science and nudge theory, and try to get people to take actions in and outside of our product to just get better and to grow their business.
For the marketing team, I actually, for the last year, have been able to help with our marketing services at Job Nimbus. Specifically, one of the biggest obstacles that our customers face as roofers is that they don't know how to do marketing themselves. They don't know how to break into the digital marketing space. So we provide things like a website or SEO services. But most recently, for the last couple of months, I've been able to help with our organic and content marketing. So what does direct look like? How are we able to engage people at different phases in the funnel? I'm really pumped because, especially with this new round of funding, we've had like this infusion of new opportunity. We're engaging new audiences. And so that's really what my focus is in trying to get our name out there and make sure that everyone here, like at the Silicon Slopes, understands who we are. And so that's why the hair is blue. It's Job Nimbus blue just for that. So it helps people to understand who we are and we can stand out.
Question for you guys. I imagine like the trades industry and the roofing community is a small community. So what are you guys doing to drive connection in your community? And so we're curious about that. Like, how are you driving connection?
Yeah, so a few of the ways we're driving connection with our customers specifically, we have like a customer event every month called The Crew. We don't do a couple months when we have our like roofing expo, but we like teach them business skills, not just in our product, but also hiring and culture and marketing and product and just basic business savvy stuff, because these are great guys, they're tradesmen, right? So they're coming to learn about business. So we train them every month. On the employee side, what we like to do, because we're not trades guys, we're the opposite, we're software people and tech space.
I won't tell anybody that you're nerds.
Yeah, we're nerds.
Yeah.
We're nerds, it's okay.
We'll own it.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
own it. I own it.
I have a bunch of Lord of the Rings medals in my office, it's fine.
I didn't listen to that out.
But what we try to do on that is like we have a partnership with Habitat for Humanity, so we actually go roof like once or twice a year as
That's
a
awesome.
company.
Yeah.
And then we try, Jared's phenomenal. He's our VP of People Experience. He always sets up charity stuff that we can do every quarter. Sometimes it's donations. Like for Christmas, we were bringing in pajamas and donating for a group there. We helped build beds last year for children. So we really try to engage with the community on a fun space. And then for roofing in particular, we're trying to learn what it means to be on a roof and how to do it. And tear-offs are the best. If you haven't done it yet, I highly recommend it.
My own home.
Yeah, exactly.
I'd love to talk a little bit more about the mission of Job Nimbus. So our mission is specifically in talking about community and how we unite people. Our mission is to make contractors heroes. Kaylee kind of touched on that a little bit, and it's something that's really critical to us here at Job Nimbus. We live that every day. I think that in the way that we try and are, living our mission values here at the company, but also just making sure that we're just communicating every day with our customers. We're really passionate about our customer experience and making sure that we can be able to help them in the ways that are really important to them and connect with them. A really big event that's going to be coming up for us here in February is called the Job Nimbus Solutions Summit. It's actually a big thing. We're taking everyone. Yes, yeah. I know a guy that can help you.
Yeah,
so, the Job Nimbus Solutions Summit is actually in Cabo this year. And so we're going to take the guys there, get out of the cold, be able to get into a warmer climate, sit by the pool, learn from experts like Kaylee about how to run your business. And so it's a really great opportunity. Our customers love to identify with these opportunities for coaching, being able to go from a tradesman to a businessman. And so that's one of the major ways that we try and help our customers.
Awesome. Thank you so much. You guys have such an exciting brand. I hope you guys enjoy the show. Thanks for spending a minute with us. It's good to see you guys. Thanks so much. Hey guys, we're here at the summit again. I've got Matt Harrington and his partner. We're grateful that you guys got to be here today. So we're gonna learn a little about these guys. Matt, why don't you guys tell us what you do?
Yeah, so Jacob and I recently founded a company called Hire Aligned, and our mission is to help increase ultimately engagement through alignment. So helping companies understand like what the heck is our culture actually, and then when people are coming to join their team or their company, like are they actually truly aligned from a culture standpoint? And a lot of that gets guessed on, so we're excited to help people in that regard.
Awesome. So Jacob, tell me about like how did this problem statement come to be? When did you guys decide like this problem needs to be solved?
Yeah, so about a year and a half ago, Matt and I were talking about, I was venting about a place I worked and how I didn't feel aligned and agree with some of the things we were doing. And Matt posed the question, well, like, why do you work there? Why don't you go find something, some place that you actually align with? And I was like, is that even possible? And we kind of got to this point where we're like, if I don't think it's possible, why don't I create it? And so we talked a lot about, okay, how can we both create that for us, but then for other people as well? And so really we're just aiming at how can we make people or help people work places that they actually care and love.
That's awesome. It's a very cool idea. We're very aligned with organizations that do that. As you guys have done this, what have some of your clients said? Like, what's been some of the result of that?
Yeah, so one of the things that comes up a lot is people are like, well, we think we have a pretty healthy culture. And it's like, well, that's awesome. And are you really aware enough of what it is so that you can hire to it or add people to your team based on it? Because I think a lot of people, you feel it, right? Culture is a lot of times just a feeling. It's like, yeah, like we love it here. A lot of people love it here. So that's been some of the feedback. Is like it's been really helpful to be able to articulate it in a way and almost measure it in a way that then you can utilize that to add people to your team in a meaningful way that before it's like a lot of gut feel, which again, there's nothing wrong with that. It's not super scalable and sometimes gets you in trouble.
That's cool. What have been some of the fun stories you've heard from some of your customers as you've been working with them?
So we're working with a dental group right now, and they have been hiring for a variety of roles like front desk, dental hygienists, and all these different things. And it's been really cool to see. Not only have they been able to hire people that they really mesh with and they feel are aligned culturally and value-wise, but also it's decreased the amount of time that it takes them to hire. Right? They don't have to go through 40 resumes. They send them our assessment. It comes back, and then they look and they're able to see, kind of stacked ranked. Okay, who are the top 5 people that align with our mission and vision and culture? And then they reach out to them, and they absolutely love them. And it's a great start from the get-go.
That's cool. Well, I love the concept of your business. So at Axomo, it's really important for us to drive connection that turns into unity. You guys are very much having conversations like that, with the company itself, let alone its employees. So from your guys' perspective, as you work, in the field that you do, what to you is a major driver that brings people together? It's what are these connecting moments?
Yeah, so good. I on a deeper level, which I know you're down for. You said we were going to get asked some deep questions.
Yeah, no, we're going deep today. Yeah,
is vulnerability really to me is what actually builds trust and connection. And so that doesn't mean airing your dirty laundry all the time. Although I think a lot of times in the world we're like, oh, I can't. Being vulnerable is just telling everyone my secrets. It's no, being vulnerable is just being authentic. So being willing to be you, to be open. I've seen that drive connection in such a powerful way, and it's understandable that a lot of us are scared to do that because we've been hurt before. We're worried about what people are going to think, and so it's understandable that as humans we tend to not be as vulnerable. And yeah, that's what really builds connection faster than anything is people being authentic and vulnerable.
So Jacob, let me ask you, we think of connection and unity. Can you be connected with someone and not be unified? What do you see as the difference? We're connecting today, and I think that we share some beliefs, but unity is a big thing. So what do you see as the difference?
I think you can be connected on a surface level of oh, hey, you meet some random person at a conference and, you're like, oh, great, you're doing this, I'm doing this. That's so cool, high five. But once you get another layer deeper on, okay, these are the things that are important to me. Here's why I'm doing it. Even if you're not doing the same things for the same reasons, by understanding at a deeper level, that creates some unity where then you're like, oh, I can understand and see why you're doing this. You can understand why I'm doing this, right? And it really comes down to kind of empathy of understanding people at a deeper level and being willing to kind of sit in their shoes and figure out, okay, why are you doing this and how are you doing it and who are you trying to become? And that creates the level of unity, I think, with connectedness. Very different. There can be surface level, but I think there's also, a deeper level that brings them together.
That's cool. What about fast friends? You meet somebody to show and you're immediately there. You guys have any of that?
Yeah, for sure. Well, so here's my thought is that if you have unity, connection happened first. And the other way around is not necessarily true. You could be connected with someone and it doesn't mean that you're instantly unified. I think that's the way I see it. So if there's unity in practice, there was connection that happened at some point. And yeah, to your point, you can, I can think of a lot of people that I connected with. There was a moment of shared, belief or shared identity or shared something that created that kind of connection, or maybe it was vulnerability. And we didn't necessarily, keep going to the point where we're creating this strong unity. And in order to have unity, though, connection's going to happen first.
That's awesome. What do you think, Jacob?
No, I believe in fast friends. But I think that there is often, a single point of either strong connection that then leads. I think of, I have a friend that we do not get along in a lot of aspects. When he found out who I voted for, he was, walked out of the room.
Why did you make that mistake? Yeah,
yeah, saying I'm a horrible person.
Yeah.
But we connected on, kind of a similar crappy situation that we were in, and it's a great friendship. And so I think the fast friends is definitely a thing, but legitimate connection is required for that.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, guys, thanks so much. I appreciate you coming down. I hope you enjoy the rest of the show. And thanks for coming to our after party later. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, for sure.
Thanks, man.
Okay, all right. Thanks, guys. We'll see you. Hey guys, here we are at Silicon Slopes. I'm here with Mitch Weiding. So glad to have him. We love this guy. He's actually the host of our party tomorrow night. He's going to win DDR at our after party. But Mitch, so glad to have you here. Will you tell everybody who you are and what your company does?
Yeah, I'm Mitch Weiding, founder of Mitch Weiding Coaching.
Look at.
Yep, a one of one. My wife made it for me for Christmas. I help family-centered leaders and entrepreneurs who have obtained everything that they thought would feel like success, only to find that they're still more stressed out than ever and struggling to be present with their family. So I help them go beyond self-help, right? The podcasts and the books and the YouTube videos that scream at you and tell you to go on 110%, get up in the morning and live your life, and instead move beyond self-help to self-transformation, which is the difference between reframing your thoughts and rewiring your brain. So I help people to get the hours back by rewiring their brain that they've been spending in stress, overwhelm, self-doubt, judgment, shame, comparison, so that they can be deeply present with their families and happy with themselves.
I love it. So Mitch and I met through an introduction, but really we chatted on LinkedIn and other areas. I love your content on LinkedIn. I feel like you're very thought-provoking, but very real. And so I appreciate that.
I appreciate that a ton.
Yeah, it's been great to feel that. So today we're talking about connection, and that's really what our podcast is about, is how. And so I feel like you've done a great job of connecting with yourself and teaching others how to connect with yourself. So would you share some thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think connection and unity comes first of being who you really are. Because so much of us, especially in the workplace, we're operating, there's three forms of self. There's real self, there's strategic self, which is where we play most of the time in the workplace, and then there's primal self, the person that, does the things that hurts others and hurts ourselves when we're stressed, when we're overwhelmed. But most of the time in the workplace, we're spending time in strategic self, which is not authentic to who we really are. It's who we think we need to be to get the promotion, to impress others, to get the praise and the recognition that we feel that we deserve and that we want. But when you can operate from who you really are, then you can give and love and build and serve and create from your most powerful self. And so I think connection comes. It's hard to connect with someone when they're not being themselves. It's hard to connect with others when you're not being yourself. So if you can truly accept who you are by letting go, I believe you cannot become a better version of yourself. You can only become more of who you really are. And the way you become who you are and discover who that is by letting go of every hour that you're spending in suffering and resistance, so that you can see the David statue within. Like Michelangelo said, he didn't sculpt David, he took everything away that wasn't David. And that's how this life works, of just letting go of the resistance, letting go of the suffering, and then you can be authentic to who you are while having the energy and the capacity to love people for who they are and to serve and to give and to create.
That's amazing. I love that. Earlier today I heard being vulnerable is not airing your dirty laundry. I was like, oh my gosh, that's a wonderful statement. And so when I think about vulnerability, I love your point about the primal you versus the strategic you. Yes. So how often do you see people trying to connect by airing their dirty laundry?
Yeah, on LinkedIn, I share stories, and I was surprised. It was 1 to 3 weeks in, I shared a story, and it reached 1 million people, and it was so crazy because it was all through the night. It was just going to all these different countries, and my wife and I were like, "What is happening?" 24,000 people liking this post, and I had no audience. I was just a new creator. I was just making this post, and what we found is that it was because I shared with everyone how she failed her biology exam. And what was funny about that is, one, she will always laugh about the day that I shared with 1 million people that she failed her test. She's like, thanks a lot. But that, two, it was not just personal, it's what I call personal with purpose. Airing your dirty laundry is just sharing things that are personal without purpose. But when you can share your story for a greater story, when you can share your story to connect with others and to actually create change within someone else or even within yourself, then all of a sudden there's that unity that comes from that purpose and that true connection, because you can move forward instead of just complain about the past.
That's awesome. I love that. So we're at a tech summit, and we should be connected to this community because we're all in tech.
Sure.
What's something that you're seeing at a trade show? Is this our strategic selves? Is this primal because everybody has an objective? What do you think?
I mean, it's an individual thing. And in the past, I was living in my strategic self and comparing myself to others and, living in a suffering state. But when I learned that there's only one cause of suffering, and it's believing things that are not true,
wow,
I was able to discover what was true. And it was something different than I'm not good enough, or this person's better than me, or I'm not capable. What was true is I am good enough, I am capable, where no one's better than anybody else. And when you can show up in that place, you let go of the suffering, and again, you find that who you are is someone who's funny and creative and passionate. It's just your resistance that holds you back, that suppresses your personality. So every person's different. I love to connect with those that are suffering and recognize that, because I can help them, and it's possible.
That's awesome. I love your attitude. I love the invitation from your character. That's really neat. Well, what's fun is I'm voting for Mitch to win tonight. Paul, you heard me. He's got our Dance Dance Revolution tournament tomorrow night. This is so fun. We put this event together in like hours.
Yeah.
And so we just went for it. So I love that we share that personality.
It's just we just want to have fun and be with people and love people. It's fun.
That's right. Awesome. Thanks for coming, Mitch.
Thank you, Matt. Love
Glad
you,
to have you here at the show.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Thanks, guys. Hey guys, we're here at Silicon Slopes again for day 2. We're really excited to be here with Jeff and Summer with Unqua Bank. Yep. Really excited for you guys. Tell us a little about yourselves and about Unqua Bank.
My name's Summer McCracken, and I am the Retail Regional Manager for Unqua Bank. I manage 16 locations in 3 states.
That's awesome.
Jeff Thomas. I'm here locally. I am the Market Director for Commercial Banking in the state.
Awesome. Well, we're glad to have you on our podcast. So Outfitting Unity is about how companies and brands connect with their community. So tell us about like what you guys are doing in Utah. You said you're in Washington and Oregon. Welcome to Utah.
Yeah.
So what are you guys doing out here?
So we opened a branch here in South Jordan about a year and a half ago, and we're just, I'm out here. I'm from Boise, but I'm out here just supporting the branch and trying to get the brand out.
I've been here my whole career, so I've got good relationships with the folks at Slopes. We've been a part of it at other institutions I've been at, and the connectivity and really just the environment here is important. So for our bank and being new to market, this is a great place to be seen and be heard and make connections.
That's awesome. So on our show, we talk a lot about how companies connect with their community culturally, like your customers, your employees. So what's unique about Unqua Bank? Like what can we learn about how you guys connect with your community?
So Unqua is all about relationship building with our communities, with our customers, and with our associates as well. We are a community bank, but we make sure that in each community that we serve, we're fully involved. We give our employees 40 hours of volunteer time every year so that they can use it to be involved in their communities.
Awesome.
Okay, Utah, we're a small team, so it looks a little bit different maybe in some of our other states. So we try to be a part of the collaborative whole at the bank. But Utah trying to kind of connect and create unique experiences for prospects and customers where we're growing the market. So it's a little bit different when it comes to our team. But from a bank perspective, just as an example, we have a presence in California. And with what's been going on with the fires there, immediately our CEO kind of sent out, here's what you can do locally to help out the nonprofits. Here's what we can do for our teammates. Here's our teammates that are impacted. And so really just communicating and making sure that we understand what's going on, how it impacts the whole, and then rallying around the people that are there. So that's an example of kind of what we do when it comes to like our individual markets and making sure that we're connected as a whole.
That's great, and especially with like current events, you guys seem like you're really agile. So traditionally a Pacific Northwest bank,
yes.
How are you handling not having Voodoo Donuts out here?
Well, remarkably, I keep seeing them in different airports around, so that's kind of fun. Not here yet, I don't think, but they'll probably come.
All right.
We're trying to convert, like we know that there's voodoo and all these kind of cool things from up there, but we're trying to help them understand swig and R&R and J-Dogs, right? So yeah, there's cool stuff in the Pacific Northwest. We love it. But we're converting.
We're pretty cool here,
yeah.
Right? They've got some lessons to take from us.
Yeah, I do have to say when I visit my branches in Oregon and northern Idaho, they always say, "Can you bring me some crumble?"
We can make that happen.
Yeah.
So what if we were to like learn something from you guys? What's super unique about you that sets you apart from other banks or just other brands like you guys? What's unique about Quack?
I would say, again, going back to the relationship building, we foster a relationship, a business relationship from start to finish. We want to be there for them throughout the life of their business.
Awesome.
we're a true C&I bank. So, C&I lending is owner operator. So we want to go in and take care of everything that they're doing. So if it's lines of credit, if it's guidance lines, if it's their real estate, we can do all of it, but we're not going to go deal to deal. We really want to go person to person and build up those relationships. So, is it unique? Sometimes, depending on the bank that you're talking to. I think everyone thinks that, but we really deliver on it. Our size and how we deliver, we're $55 billion, so we're big enough to deliver any size, but we're small enough to be nimble. So we're a community bank at scale is really who we are, and that's unique.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, Jeff, Summer, super nice to hang with you guys today and enjoy the rest of the summit. We'll talk to you guys soon. Thanks so much. Hey guys, here we are at Silicon Slopes. I'm with Zach Barney. He is the CEO and founder of Mobley. We've known each other for a long time. We've worked together in industry, so I'm really proud of you, man.
Thanks, dude.
So Zach, tell us about Mobley.
Yeah, Mobley is fixing event marketing. You look at all of the different facets of a go-to-market organization, almost all of them have their core tools that make them really efficient. And event marketers are still stuck with spreadsheets and duct tape and paper clips. So we're building the platform for event marketers where they can manage all of their events and use one universal lead retrieval app at every event that they go to and not have to worry about whatever technology the event may or may not provide them and deal with crappy registration data and so forth.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, that's cool. How's it going so far?
It's going great. Yeah, we just raised another round of funding. We'll be announcing that in a press release probably by the time this goes live. So
that's awesome. Congratulations,
Thank
man.
you.
That's
yeah,
awesome.
It's fun.
So it's fun to watch you because we've worked together in the industry, but you had this idea, you saw a problem, and you went and solved it.
Yeah.
I also want to congratulate you. I loved reading your post during Christmas about your team.
Yeah.
And I loved the emotion you had. So tell us about your team and your company.
Yeah, we're 24 people strong now. I co-founded it with my best friend of 30 years. We grew up together, played all the same positions in all the same sports. He's better at all of those.
Matt, you know what I'm saying.
he's better at all of them. But yeah, we co-founded it together and have been really, really intentional on who we bring onto the team. Only people that we know we want to go to war with for the next 10, 20 years. So we're very tight-knit, we're very authentic in what we do. That's the brand that we've tried to build. And it's been cool building a community around authenticity and kind of just naturally flows into the event world because one reason why events are so good is because you can be authentic and look somebody in the eye versus an AI bot that's, spamming you.
Yeah, I got a call from an AI agent and I was like, I know I'm talking to a bot, but gosh, you're a good listener. Well, that's super cool. So what's unique about Mobley's culture? You talk about being authentic, but what's something that stands out to you? Gosh, I love this about us.
So being yourself is, I know a lot of people in companies say that, but at my last company, one time I got in trouble for wearing a hat on an internal Zoom call. There were people that were saying, why is Zach dressed so unprofessionally? I'm like, this is an internal call during COVID. Everybody's working from home, and my team's crushing their number. Do you really, that's what you care about? And literally, as Chris and I were writing down, what we wanted to care about, the first thing we wrote on the napkin was hats encouraged. We want people we want people to be themselves and dress like themselves, talk like themselves, manage their own brand on social, and we're here to support and amplify that, not control it for them.
Awesome. That's fun. We're a hats environment too. Do you feel like that element of hats encouraged is a recruiting edge?
Definitely. I mean, when anybody comes to our office and they see everybody's dressed differently. Everybody has, different views of the world, whether it be religious, political, whatever, and we all get along because we're just allowed to be real. It absolutely makes a huge difference. They can feel it. I'm told that all the time. I just want to be a part of this team because I can feel like I can just be myself and bring my best self to work every day and not have to fit within a mold.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, man, I'm super excited for you. It's really neat to see you building your company, and congratulations on the new investment round. So what's one thing that we should think about for Mobley? I love that you're solving this problem. I mean, we deal with it. We were talking about it today of we have 14 events scheduled as of January, which means we'll end up doing 20, and big trade shows, small trade shows. So what do you want us to think about? If you're just at the market, hey, really think about this.
Yeah, I would say, when it comes to event marketing specifically, it takes the average company about 11 days to get leads exported, enriched, deduplicated and field mapped to where they're ready to be followed up with by a rep. And it takes the average mobile user about 5 minutes. So think about how that speed to lead would impact your conversion rate to where your events are actually an ROI producing event, not a branding play or a defensive play like a lot of people end up saying because they don't have a way to actually attribute the revenue that came from it.
That's awesome. Well, Zach, congratulations.
Thanks, buddy. Appreciate
so good
it.
to see you. Take care of that knee. And
I will try.
Thanks for joining us today, guys. It's good to be at the summit, and enjoy the rest of the summit.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Hey guys, Summit Day 2. We're super excited to be here. Very good friend of mine. This is Brett Peterson. Brett and I have known each other for a long time, family friends, but we're also compatriots in the marketing industry. So Brett is with Causal IQ. They do a great job of programmatic advertising. I'm going to let Brett describe the company and tell us a little bit about you.
Yeah, so thank you, Matt, first and foremost.
Yeah, it's good to be with
it's
you.
been, what, almost 30 years we've known each other.
Very long time,
kind of
yeah.
mind-blowing. No, so Causal IQ is a managed service programmatic provider. We're based out of LA. We have clients across the gamut from business to business, like I would say a WEX, to hospitality, like MGM Resorts. And we work across the globe. Some of our clients are actually global, which is great too. And what we focus on is performance-based campaigns that really can be launched in a frictionless environment. So you guys come to us, our agencies and clients come to us and say, hey, we want to reach X target, make this much money, what can we do? We run a programmatic campaign that's going to complement all of your search, your social campaigns, and any other in-house programmatic campaigns you may be doing to drive incrementality and really try and just boost the awareness of your campaigns so that you can succeed and scale.
Does it ever freak you out, like the giant brands that you work with? Do you ever like, oh?
Yeah. You know, it does. There's an airline, an international airline, I'll give you probably one of the top 2 largest international airlines in the Middle East. I can't say which one, but that was a really unique one because we're literally talking to the Ministry of Travel of these Middle Eastern companies.
No pressure, right?
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of, these 4 a.m. meetings, because I'm on the West Coast, are actually amazing.
Why are your eyes so puffy?
People
bloodshot.
wonder, right?
Yeah.
It's great. I have an amazing team, our operations team, our planning team, and even my sellers on my team just make it to where I can enjoy what we do, and our C-level is just so supportive, and it's been great.
Awesome. Been very impressed following your career. So Outfitting Unity, the purpose of the show is to celebrate people who connect and unite their communities. And celebrating isn't always like there's something amazing going on. Sometimes we connect on things that are tricky and really difficult. And so we were talking about the fires in California. And so we talked to somebody earlier today that they've given their team the week off to go help. And so I know you wanted to mention something like that. So tell us, you've got a team in LA, right?
Yeah, so we have, our corporate office is based in Westlake Village. Our other office is in Brentwood. To put into retrospect, the Palisades fire is directly in between both of those locations. And so, yeah, we've got a lot of employees who have family and friends who have been evacuated and lost homes, as well as colleagues. It's been, the stories are just incredible. But what I'll say is there's groups like Ad Relief LA, which really came together quickly. And what they do is when there's people in our industry that are affected by natural disasters or just disasters in general, Ad Relief comes to the table and they will actually help fund and support those advertising individuals until they can get back on their feet. And so Ad Relief and our team have really been doing whatever we can from a volunteer standpoint. It's been great. But coming together as a community, I think, has been probably one of the most touching things that you can see in such a heartbreaking environment. From our operations team, which is telling our clients pretty much, hey guys, we're going to be a little bit delayed. Some of us are not in the office, we're not in our homes, we can't be, and we don't have anything right now. So can you just be patient with us? And having that empathy and that compassion and leading with that is I think, been helpful. But when your clients just lost their home, right? They still need to get work done. They still need to get the proposals out to their clients. And it's all about coming together with, again, leading with empathy and compassion as we continue to get business done. We didn't do the whole week off, but we have told our team, if you want to volunteer, you need to take any time, you just let us know. And that is it's why one of the reasons we have an open PTO policy.
That's amazing. Yeah, and it's one thing to say, like, have empathy and compassion. I think generally people understand that, but in situations where it's beyond an emergency, where it's tragic, right? This isn't like a day-long thing. Like, Mother Nature has changed that area for years, right? The Santa Ana winds do their thing, right? And it's so hard to see people suffer, but it's also been neat to see everyone stepping up and offering aid, and we've seen all these schools donating land to, like, come be here, come get food, and let's figure something out for you. Being displaced it's crazy. So it's cool that you guys have been aware of the need, and being states away, it's hard to imagine, but just seeing the footage of trees that shouldn't be burning or like torches, and so sad.
We actually became aware of the need in a really crazy way before I think a lot of people knew there was a need. We were in a meeting at CES on Tuesday with one of our partners, and literally at 1:30 in the afternoon, her fire alarms are going off on her phone as we're in a meeting.
Wow.
And her house ended up being on, CNN and like a bunch of channels. Her house is burning down. So it happened while we were in a meeting at CES.
Wow.
Right? And so when you're with someone and that happens in front of you, it changes your perspective instantaneously.
Oh my gosh.
How big it is and what it's going to be. So
their whole world just changed while you were sitting with them.
Yeah.
Wow.
Somebody I've known for 14 years in the industry. Just heartbreaking. Just an amazing human.
And thanks for being there for them. I mean, I think that it's a tricky thing to, talk about empathy, but like when you're thrust into it, it sounds like that's who you are, and it sounds like that's who your team is. Yeah. A human to human, we got to step up. That's neat. Well, thank you for sharing that. Tell me a little bit about your culture, like day to day, because this is a neat thing to hear about. But I've known you guys. We've worked together in the past. Really love what you're doing. What's unique about Causal that you'd love for the world to know?
Yeah, I think it starts from the top, right? Our CEO is a very family first, family oriented person, and when you can really admire the person that's running the company because of not only how they treat their family and how they treat those around them, but how they treat every single employee of the company like they are family. It's very rare in our industry to see and get that, right? And so I think I've told you, I almost left the industry about 5.5, 6 years ago.
Sure, yeah, I remember.
And I met Farshad, and first time I met him, I think I'm pretty good at reading people. I was impressed, and I jumped right back in and said, you know what, let's do this. And now we've taken the business, we've scaled it from what was at that time about 20 people to a little bit over 100.
Wow.
We're
congratulations.
Continuing to surpass our revenue figures year after year, and it's been a really good thing, and I think it all comes from the leadership at the top. Just, again, him leading with empathy and compassion and really, truly caring
These
about
moments matter.
the success of your individuals, right?
Yeah.
So me as a leader now, I try and reflect that, emulate that, because that's what we have to do. And you know what? I hope to say if he was a dick, I would be a dick too. I mean, I hope not. But
don't be, bro. Yeah.
It's one of those things where when you can see what works from your bosses and your leaders, it helps. And trust me, we have hard, frank conversations, but we always care about each other when we're having it, just like we do with our spouses. So,
yeah. Brett, that is awesome. So impressed as usual. Thank you so much for joining us in Outfitting Unity. Hope you enjoy the rest of the show, man.
It was a pleasure, Matt.
We'll see you guys next time. Thanks. Hey guys, day 2, Silicon Slopes. I am here with the infamous Paul Shin. You're on your way to famous, but look at this guy. So we've known Paul for a long time. He and I have gone back. We've just been in the same networking community. So thank you for being here today.
Happy to.
Yeah.
Happy to, my friend.
We're grateful to have him here. So today we're going to talk about what Paul has been doing. So tell us a little bit about you and the community you're in.
Yeah, no, for sure. Let's see. Day job, I'm the Vice President of Marketing at B10 Capital. So a lot of love there. I also help build community on the side with my own little thing. I mean, yeah. What else? What else can I answer, man?
So Paul, it turns out Paul is very cool. And he's built a community called Tacos Together. And so I can eat street tacos for breakfast, lunch, 11sies, afternoon tea, dinner, and supper.
This is why we're friends.
Yeah, this is actually why we're friends. I had street tacos yesterday. I'm going to have some tonight. So
fantastic.
But you've done a great job of making people feel welcome. And I love that about you. So tell us about your event and things you do.
Yeah, no, for sure. Honestly, so Tacos Together started on a tweet or a LinkedIn post. And it was literally just like, would anyone want to go get tacos together with me, right? And I thought like no one was going to show up. And we had over 100 people register to like, I mean, we just got a ton of comments. So I was like, I guess I'll make a reg page. And next thing you know, like we were doing a thing, right? And I mean, that was the whole idea though, is like, can we make community accessible for everybody, right? Can we just bring people together, not worry about who you are or where you work or whatever that is. Just come together and be with people, be real. And, you know, we were really grateful. Like what started off as getting tacos together turned into, you know, we've broken 3 world records now. We've donated hundreds of thousands of dollars to cool nonprofits in Utah. And we've seen this thing kind of blow up.
That's awesome. Congratulations. I love something we talked about earlier. You said that there's been several communities that have come from your community, and like that is so unique that you help launch like new ideas. So tell me about that.
Well, I don't know if I can take credit for launching new ideas, right?
I guess like you said that it like because people were together, they had an idea to go do something. So
and I think that's like the magic of it, right? Is like true community builders shouldn't be the ones dictating like you meet this person, you guys go do this, you have to go do this, right? Like really just can you create a safe space where people can come together and let their own ideas flourish? And you know, it's been amazing, right? Like I've seen people that have come to or used to come to my events, go to my events, and you know, I see these friendships form, and the next thing you know, I find out they're starting a venture together. They're starting their own community together, right? That's specialized in a certain area, and it's just amazing to see that happen, right? And again, I think the beauty of it is that everyone gets to go and build what they're passionate about.
So there's something special about the way you do it, and something I want to give you a compliment to, is I think others have tried. What do you think the difference has been for you? Because you're very inviting, like you just have this inviting character. I love that about you. But like, what do you think the difference is? Like, how can people think about being this welcoming?
Yeah, thank you, man.
You're welcome.
I don't know. Street tacos always helps, right?
Sure.
Like,
yeah, it makes it easy.
Yeah, it makes it simple. Honestly, though, like a part of it is like allowing your own ego to die.
I love that.
Right. I mean, I used to be the guy, right? I had this short hair. It was well kept, expensive haircuts. I wore expensive clothes. I wanted to drive a nice car. Like, it was very important to me that I was a VIP at every event I went to, that I didn't socialize with the commoners. I realized that didn't bring me any joy. It just wasn't who I was. And so I really started to think about like, great, how do I build something that is comfortable for anybody to be at?
Okay.
And tacos is a part of it, right? Tacos is probably the least, I don't know, intimidating food you could eat, probably, right? And then a lot of the activities, right? We're gonna do water gun fights. We're gonna go play at the park. We're gonna do things that anyone could come in and start feeling welcome at. Was really important for us. So we just wanted to make it fun.
I love that, very accessible. So Paul is at our after party tonight. We're very excited about him. We just chatted on a LinkedIn post that turned into a text thread that is now an event. I love your spontaneity, and I really appreciate that. So what's something that you hope people will think about, as I love that point about just making everyone feel welcome, but if you could like teach us one thing today about connection, like why does connection matter?
Yeah, that's a great question, Matt. Honestly, I think it's a couple things, right? One is, I mean, we are social creatures. Like we are meant to connect with each other.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking the same of like, I don't know, this guy is a multi-millionaire. He has everything, right? He has the beautiful family, the wife, the nice car, the big house. What can I possibly offer him? And so I wouldn't talk to them. And what I found, in all honesty, is that regardless of how successful you are, most people are looking for a genuine connection, just someone they can be real with and be friends with.
Yeah, that's
and
awesome.
So that's it, right? Is build something that makes it easy to be friends with other people. And I mean, I don't know, I think that works.
It does work. And congratulations. It's awesome to see you succeed. So thank you for joining us today. Guys, thank you for joining us. Hey guys, we're at Silicon Slopes, day 2. We're very grateful to be here with Derek. He's got this great company, Build and Bless, but you also own an agency called Lemonade Stand, and we've been in the industry together for a long time, so there's so much respect for what you've done as a marketer. So tell us, Derek, about Build and Bless.
We're so excited about Build and Bless, really an opportunity to be more outward minded and to give back. We built it really as an internal tool for Lemonade Stand. When our clients started asking us, how did you remember some of these events in my life? And how are you doing so much good in the community? And we're really excited about just doing things a little bit differently.
So you use this internally as just an effort. It wasn't even a business, but it works so well you're like, hey, we really got something here. So tell us a bit about it.
Yeah, and when our clients started asking us, they're like, can we use what you guys are doing? And we thought we were onto something. So we launched it, and we're really excited about what we're building. So really what we do every single month, we give money to our team. Instead of sending in front of a big check at the end of the year and saying, man, look how philanthropic we are, and look at the impact we hope we're making, we gave that money to our team and set them free to go do good. And then we collect their stories in our platform of them going and doing good in the community. So many stories. And when you're thinking, especially in a service-based business, when you're thinking outward-minded, it's a game changer versus most of us, today are like, well, if I had, I would, but I don't, so I can't. We kind of change that narrative, and being able to empower our team to go and look for opportunities to do good, not only in their own circle of influence, but also in their community, has just been incredible. We have thousands of stories of our team doing good, looking for someone, giving to a charity that they like, paying for someone that may be less fortunate, doing things. It's like Christmas all year round.
It's funny, I was talking to the kids, my wife and I, we do something together, but it's just so fun to watch them and that feeling that we get of watching their happiness and that they've received something. Yeah. So that's so cool because lots of companies talk about culture and thinking about others, but you've actually made it the business. Yeah. And so how do you feel watching others give? Tell me about I sense joy, that's why I'm asking. So tell us how do you feel seeing this happen?
It's incredible. So one of the things that we do is not only on the platform do we share, hey, this is what I did, but every single week we get together as a team and we open it up. We call it our Build and Bless. So it's literally become like a verb at Lemonade Stand.
Wow.
And our team shares these stories. It's incredible. Just today, one of our team members in Michigan, she said, hey, I was going to the grocery store and she said she saw this lady that had fallen down. She walked around and there was a policeman already there to help her. And she'd just been in an accident, pulled in. She had to go grocery shopping. So our team member was in there and saw her. She's like, she got a gift card for her, and said, yeah, dude, yeah. And so, no, she bought a gift card for this lady, and she said, hey, I've heard you had a really hard day, And she's like, I don't know if I saw you out in the parking lot or what. And she gave her that gift card, and the lady started crying.
That's amazing.
And to think about that hand-to-hand, eye-to-eye interaction of you being able to give something or do something, and
on
then
the spot,
right on the spot,
right when it matters.
Exactly. Yeah. And then our team member, she's just like, my company allowed me to do this, right? To go and do good. And a lot of times when you think about giving, corporate giving especially, you're standing in front of a big check and you have no idea.
Just make sure that it's visible.
But you don't know what the impact is, really. And you feel good for a few minutes, and then you're like, okay, where did that go, or what impact did that have? That experience, so those micro interactions, we call them,
that's awesome,
are game changing. And truly when we see that, not only doing it in the community, but we see our team showing up for other team members as well. And it's
you guys
really
are
special.
TMZ, but for good. You're reviewing stories of the day, here's what happened, but all of it's good.
Yeah, it's so how do I feel when I see these stories?
Yeah.
It not only, just I can do this, let's go, but I'm inspired by the stories that are being told by our team, and also this community of companies that are joining Build and Bless to do this internally, stories that are oh, I never thought about doing that, or I never thought about giving that way.
Yeah.
Right? It's just, one of my favorite stories ever is a company we onboarded, and he was the CFO and he was tough. He's like, wait, so you want me to give money to my team to go give to somewhere? Oh, wait, what? How's this working?
It works.
No, this will work to build, and he had a long commute. He was at the tire store, sitting there waiting. His car gets called up, and this customer comes in, kind of in and out, multiple times, kind of frantic, and he just gets called up. He's like, hey, what's going on with that customer? He's like, well, she needs a new tire, and she can't pay for it. And he's like, I want to do it. And so he had that moment with that manager.
While he was talking to you.
Yeah, and that manager's like, well, we can do better too. And he discounted that, and they paid it together.
Wow.
And then he left, so he didn't get to have that experience, but that manager did, right? It's this ripple of greatness and of gratitude that just grows as you give. And
What
as
a
you
cool
give,
business.
you give. So anyway, we're having so much fun with it.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's so awesome. Well, thank you for sharing this. And like our podcast really is to figure out how people are doing this. And others, it's like processes or thoughts, but I just love that you've made it a platform and that it enables people that like maybe haven't connected the dots. But I'm so excited for you guys, and we hope that we can spread the word. So, Derek, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thanks
and,
for having me.
Thanks for
Love
joining.
what you guys are doing.
Yeah,
This is
man,
so
we're all
awesome.
having a good time.
On-demand awesomeness.
That's right. Whenever you need it. Okay, see you guys. Thank you.